Hi,
Hi everyone.
welcome to Moon Cycles Energy Update. It's the 8th of March today, and what's happening today? Something pretty big's happening at the moment. Something we're usually quite wary of.
Well, isn't happening as of yet, but today, on the 8th of March, Mercury entered the first phase of the retrograde period. This is the build-up, if you like. So it's the shadow period before he will turn retrograde.
Before he gets nasty, because I've heard in astrology the whole Mercury retrograde, everybody goes on about it, and oh God, it's because Mercury's in retrograde, that's why that's gone wrong and that's gone, and we always get warned, don't do this, no, don't do that on Mercury retrograde, it'll all go wrong.
Well, it's a bit of a, that's traditionally, that's what you're told, is don't sign any contracts, don't get married. Avoid travel, because Mercury rules travel as well as communication, as well as education, and but actually it's a bit of a misconception, because it is screwy on that point where it appears to turn backwards. So on the 22nd it will station direct, and then it will start moving backwards. So that's when it's like, that's when things could be a bit wobbly. People might misunderstand what you meant in communication, or don't travel. Travel delays tend to kind of occur around that time. But the period in between, actually, PK, is really that planet going into the underworld. So it's really closer to spirit, closer to shadow. It's a time to go within, so it's to slow down at that
So, because
point.
I suppose that Mercury it's all about communication. So would it be correct in thinking that it's like a time when Mercury is actually a little bit
it's
chilling his mouth?
Well, yeah, I suppose it's a time to bear witness to the way that you do communicate with people, and the way that your sensitivity will be heightened around that planet's energy, because Mercury is one of the personal planets. So we all have a way of communicating. So wherever Mercury falls in your chart,
I think I've got a lot. I mean, I'm Gemini, and Mercury is all over my chart, isn't it?
Well, you've only got one Mercury, PK, but yours just happens to be
splattered all over my chart, literally.
Yours just happens to be conjunct your sun in Gemini.
Ooh.
So, yeah, basically it's like double Gemini. So, it's like quadruplets instead of...
So I interrupt people a lot constantly. And take over.
Constantly.
I'm learning.
You're a great little Gemini. But yeah, it's important to kind of... the other thing I was going to say was about... the left brain. So Mercury is neutral. It's not really gender. It's neither. So it's left and right brain. So but because it rules education, above the horizon, it is left brain, and right. It's communication. It's business matters as well. But as soon as it goes into the underworld, it switches to the right brain. So, then you become more psychic and more sensitive to things. So it would be really good advice to get any of those left brain-like business projects finished before the 22nd.
Boring paperwork. Oh,
yeah.
God, we actually did that today, didn't we? I actually thought, right, this is all the stuff I've got to get together. I was getting so angry with myself, but obviously I was on the right track of the energies that were kind of pretty much happening starting today.
Well, yeah, the 8th of March, this is the beginning of the shadow zone, so this is the starting, so you should be starting to feel a little bit about what is coming. Now, this retrograde's happening in Aries, and Aries is about initiation, it's about starting, it's pioneering energy, it's about starting new projects, it's like start-up energy, it's like, let's go. Fire, cardinal fire, and, so we'll be getting a taste of that kind of that energy now. I know I have as well. I've been getting so many ideas, like just coming in thick and fast, and that won't just be me. That's it. Everybody will be kind of feeling a little bit like, okay, yeah, I've got this idea now. I've got that idea now, and what to do. So tie up a few of those loose ends and get them ready for when Mercury goes into retrograde. Because about halfway through, so it will go into, it will turn station direct, go a bit screwy on the 22nd and 23rd through to the 15th of April. And that's when it stations to go direct again. Yeah, I think I said that the right way around. Forgive me if I didn't. Basically, yeah, that bit in between.
Call in and complain. Teach us something. we can always blame Mercury retrograde.
Well, I can't really, because, well, apart from being the subject of this video. But yeah, there is this like little window of opportunity on the 1st of 1st of April. So it will be at 11 degrees Aries. The sun will conjunct that retrograde, that Mercury moving backwards. So that's quite a rare thing to happen. And it's about 3 hours either side of that moment. I think it's about 6:50 in the evening on London time of the 1st of April. Sun will be conjunct retrograde Mercury, and it will give the opportunity to put any of those pitch any ideas or send those letters of communication. There'll be great luck and power attached to that. You know, there's a real kind of radiance on that kind of start up energy of Aries. You know, that's a good opportunity. So if you can kind of finalize all your ideas and get them all set out. If it's a business plan, I've got a business plan that I'm going to get my dad to help me write, because I'm rubbish at these things. But I'm going to hold it until the 1st, and I'm going to post it with that intention on the 1st.
And this is not an astrology full year, April the 1st,
Yeah.
April Fool's Day. It actually is the right day.
And isn't it only mornings with the April Fool? Isn't it before
12
o'clock?
They say that, but people are taking a mick all the way through the day, I'm sure. I know I've done that.
Yeah. Well,
I am the fool after all.
Any day is really, isn't it? Yeah, so that's a real window of wonderfulness, I think, to kind of look out for on the 1st of April. So during this period, ideas should be flowing fast. Something to look out for would be other people's pictures of, because this is really heightened, like communication in that sense. It's going to be, people are going to have an extra ability to sell you stuff, sell you their ideas, which is great if you're the one selling the idea. But, for the mere consumer,
don't fall for it, people.
No, just have your
wits about you.
Take your time.
And like I said, don't sign anything.
don't listen to her. Sign what you want. But it's just to be a little bit slower in your reactions, and just remember that you are within the this kind of more psychic realm. So just slow down enough to hear your intuition before you hear a great sales pitch, or wait before you communicate with somebody hastily. Just think, where's that coming from? When you kind of decide, I need to say this, and this, because
it's coming from a place of reaction, sometimes from anger, and and it's always in hindsight we go, oh, I wish I could take that back. So it's those kind of.
It's not to say that that shouldn't happen, because sometimes
it should. Yeah.
Sometimes people need to hear what you've got to say, and sometimes you've got to just get that shit out. But it's just kind of taking a breath or two first, so that you can hear whether okay, do I need to express that? Is that something that shouldn't be suppressed, or is that something that
you're saying just to hurt or get a reaction?
Yeah. Or can I maybe reword it? Maybe I could change my narrative. Maybe I could talk from the I perspective, because I always say this is the minute you say you and you and you and you're really
block.
Yeah,
don't you? You get a block where it's saying, well, what about you? You're telling me I'm doing this. What about you, Jacqueline?
It becomes a game of blame ping pong where, you know, you're then tied into it. Whereas when you only talk about yourself and you say, you know, well, I feel hurt at the moment, or I feel quite angry or triggered by
what you just did,
or like this situation has triggered me, or I'm in a place of, you know, when you can talk about yourself, you know, you can't really do any wrong. You're just,
because that's just being honest. And I think, you know, I've recently, you know, experienced that where somebody came to me and said, look, actually what you just did there really triggered me, and I was much more open to go, oh, okay. I was happy to hear and go, oh, well, it wasn't meant like that, rather than them going, you did this and you did that, and make me defensive. You know, it's really kind of important, like Jacqueline said, take a breath and maybe change the narrative of you know, it's always good advice to take a breath before we say things in haste or anger and stuff. But yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's really, like, you know, we've got the North Node in Leo, still, which is all about self-expression, and you know, we're all stepping into, I mean, we're making these videos, God, if this, like 2 years ago, there's no way I would have made this video. And yeah, it's just about kind of not giving a damn about what people think, and just being yourself and being your authentic truth. And
our unique expression is coming out this year, and I think it's good. It feels good to just let it all out. I don't care what you think of me.
Have you ever, PK? Or?
Well, you'd think not, but God, I was painfully shy as a child. You'd think, but yes, I was.
Sometimes with PK, I've noticed that she talks more when she's nervous. Just a little bit. A little bit.
I'm so relaxed right now.
Yeah, I was going to say as well about, if you know your birth chart, whatever house the retrograde is happening through, so wherever Mercury, wherever Aries is in your chart, whatever house that rules. For me, it's first house, actually. For you, it's the 12th house. Yeah, so everybody's, depending on the time you were born, depends on where that particular sign of the zodiac, what house it rules. So that will be the part of the underworld that you'll be in the school of, so to speak. So yeah, I mean, Mercury ruling education, and you'll be like learning, like you'll be in the school of the self in that area. So for example, for me, in the first house, I'm really going to be looking at myself and the way, you know, I communicate myself to the world. And I've had loads of throat chakra stuff, so, you know, I can feel it coming. I can feel that kind of, you know, okay, I've thought about saying that 2 days later. You know, that's the delay. I've kind of been gradually getting used to seeing how I do that, and and just being aware. You know, you don't have to fix it straight away. And I think with PK, yours is 12th house, which is 12th house is like the last sign.
Spirit.
So yeah, it's spirit. It's like
big transformation.
It's beyond. It's beyond all of this reality.
Yeah, I'm feeling it. I'm going through a massive transit right now, and all kinds of things with Pluto happening. The transit of Pluto. And
you haven't triggered.
It's big. It's big. But what's great, I love that I found and discovered astrology, because it really kind of makes you go, oh, all right, okay, that's why. And it kind of does ease it a bit. It eases your thing when you're aware, you know. And brilliant.
And that birth chart is a little map for, you know, a little guidance map of life. It's so great. It's really. I mean, and the 12th house for PK is going to be, you're going to be in the school of spirit. Like, you're going to really be tuning into your magical gifts and qualities. And, you know, it's so exciting. But to know that beforehand and just go really into...
because it can get really scary. And I wonder why. I think, you know, old behaviour patterns coming back. And it's just stuff getting raised out of me to just be shown and to be, you know, worked through. And not to be suppressed anymore. This is what I've done all my life. I've suppressed those emotions, and that once through me, I can actually transform. my whole life.
And yet get into your practice and,
Yeah.
you know, and just like witness the true magic that is life and healing power that you have.
Oh, yay!
Wow. So, yeah, this is just a little March update. So it's the 8th of March today. Mercury on the 22nd of March will station to go retrograde until the 15th of April. In between that, right in the middle of that, the 1st of April, mark your diaries, about 6:50, I think it is, UK time, in PM. That is the time to make that pitch, send that letter, that communication, whatever you want that power behind, whatever you want to start up, use that date. Either about 3 hours before or after as well. Is
pedal to the metal.
But as close as possible. So, happy March, everyone.
Yeah.
I can feel this fire, and there's a lot of there's a lot of planets through March in cardinal and fire signs. You know, it's very little air or fixed at all. So there's going to be a lot of movement, a lot of ideas, a lot of spark, a lot of passion, and like enjoy it, and don't get hot-headed and lost, but you know, put it to good use.
Yeah. All right, you moon cyclists. Namaste to you people. Yeah.
Cheerio.
Bye.